What's going on, guys? I am Toxic Jordan. Welcome back to the channel. So today we are going to be taking down stage 30 of the GT, Goku, and Vegeta EZAs here. So as of the same dealio as the last couple of EZAs, I am not running these all the way up to stage 100, just because I am trying to maximize the amount of time that I'm spending on the Training in the Clouds event before that goes away, which has now been updated on to disappearing on the 18th, which the previous end date for it was actually today, March 6th. So yeah, got a couple more weeks of that, but yeah, so I'm not going to be spending extra time grinding these stages, so we're just going to go ahead and take down stage 30 and then leave the EZA alone. So without any further ado, let's jump into it. So the effective category for this EZA is going to be power absorption. So we've got basically a full Boo build here. Any and all of these, more recent Boo cards are probably going to service you very well. One of the things that sucks kind of a lot about this is the fact that we are, like, the typings that we're facing off against. Because most of the best Boo cards that you would want to use on power absorption, and the best, cards on power absorption in general right now, are going to be like Tech and Int, which are the two typings that we don't really want to have, because obviously any of the Int cards have type disadvantage to the Goku, and then any of the, Tech cards have type disadvantage to the Vegeta. So, yeah, not the most ideal situation, unfortunately. But, defensively, they still do perfectly fine. A lot of these Boo cards, are built with damage reduction, they have lots of healing abilities, things like that. And a lot of their defense is definitely high enough, especially on these full Boo builds where they've got all their links active and stuff, to where they're still going to be performing fine. But one thing that you might suffer with, especially if you don't have these units link level 10, if you don't have them rainbowed, or if they're not critical hitting for you because you don't have them built with crit builds or whatever, it might take you just a little bit longer to get through these stages, but you should still be safe with a lot of type disadvantage here. So yeah, as you can see there, our ace, we got lucky that the Int Buhan was on turn 1, because he is by far the highest damage dealer here on this team. So he was basically almost able to, wipe out the entire enemy field just with his 3 attacks there. But we did get lucky to get the triple super turn there, and the 2 crits on, the type disadvantage unit was definitely helpful there as well, right? Obviously, that's not going to happen every time. In fact, when I was playing this EZA stage, I was autoing it for the most part for the first little while as I was going through. And, I was experiencing that it was taking, like, 3+ minutes to clear each stage. And there were actually a couple of times that I did get KO'd and, opted to stop autoing it after one or, the last couple of stages, just because there might have been 1 or 2 units where if they took an untimely super attack, could have actually been KO'd there. Alright, so yeah, not too bad. Pretty easy stage to take down. Let's go ahead and do one more run in here real quick, just because we were able to take that down really quickly. I just kind of want to show an example of what it might look like if we don't have the Int Buhan, just destroying the entire enemy field right away. Because obviously I want to talk about some of the power of some of these other units and their utility on the team. Okay, we do have Int Buhan again. I guess we might as well rinse and repeat then. There's no real reason why not. Okay, so obviously the optimal play here would be to have him not attack the Goku, since he does have type disadvantage. We'll make sure to get his 3 rainbow orbs for all the damage reduction and whatnot. And then we've got type advantage there for that attack, and then again we'll switch to the Goku so that we don't have type disadvantage. Even though one of the good things about the Evil Boo is that he has a really good chance to critical hit, so that's going to be quite helpful if you do end up having to attack with type disadvantage, right? And then obviously same thing with the Imp Buhan, he is just going nuts here again. Wow, absolutely wild. Don't worry though, we're going to do a couple more runs after this, because there are a few different things I want to talk about, including something brand new that we are actually going to experiment with here in today's video. So before the end of the video, we're definitely going to take a look at the new battle motions, because the GT Super Saiyan Goku and Vegeta both have updated brand new battle motions, which is to be expected at this point. Seems like this is something new that they're going to be rolling out every time they release a new EZA or Super EZA. They're going to be giving battle motions to the character. So yeah, we will take a look at those. And then another thing that we're going to make sure to do is take a look at the various like utility units, because there are some units that aren't on the power absorption category that can still prove quite useful in an EZA stage, just because of some of the abilities in their passive, right? Which one of those units is, lucky enough, actually the Int Fat Boo that you see here twice on the screen. He is one of the best units for basically every EZA in the game because he has the free revive. So if you were to get KO'd at any point, then you're just going to immediately revive. And then post-revive, when he returns, he has the Ghost Usher active skill that he's going to be able to proc as well, right? Now, obviously, this is not going to be quite as effective against an EZA where you're facing off against 2 enemies, because when you do get that Ghost Usher active skill, you're only going to be able to apply that to one of the 2 enemies, so you're not going to be able to completely flush out the field. For this EZA, it does work out well because he's on the power absorption category, and as coincidence would have it, he is the de facto, like, one of the best leaders to be using for this EZA, so in this case, he is like almighty, right? Even that Ghost Usher active skill is just going to be helpful. But, you know, obviously if it were a case of he's not on the leader skill, he's not on the effective category, he's just there on the team to fill a spot, then obviously you would want to make sure that that Ghost Usher active skill is getting rid of all of the attacks, because if you've already used the revive and then he comes back onto rotation and you're only able to nullify the attacks of one of the attackers, and then there's no free slot where you can put him, and he's gonna guaranteed have to take an attack again on that returning turn, then you would just get KO'd if you didn't, you know, finish off the enemy first, right? So yeah, something to be careful about with him for sure, but obviously, again, as I said, that doesn't really affect us much in this EZA stage specifically. Alright, so yeah, after we get the KO here with our fat damaging Int Boo on there, okay, we are going to go ahead and switch over to the wiki real quick and take a look at that list of effective units here. So let's see. Alright, so yeah, this is the list that we've got here. So obviously we already talked about the Int Fat Boo. That is definitely one of the units, you know, the heavy to be considered. If you've got him, you definitely want to, I mean, you're probably using him as your leader if you've got him, but if not your lead, then you definitely want to at least include him on the team. And then regardless of either of those things, if you are building like a full Boo team, then you could just run this guy as your friend lead, because he's not a power absorption leader himself, but he is Majin Buu Saga Sworn Enemies and Storied Figures, so basically any and all Boo cards are going to be on these categories to allow you to effectively have like a pseudo power absorption friend lead, right? So he could be a really good option for a friend lead for this one. So we also have the physical LR Metal Cooler. He is on power absorption as well, so, you know, that is another kind of big bonus for this EZA specifically. You know, obviously he's got his free revive the same way that the Boo does, but that's really all he's offering you is that free revive. He doesn't really have anything else to offer you on top of that. I mean, I suppose he does have his active skill. What are the activation conditions for that active skill? Because it does give you some healing as well. Let's see. You're not going to get this. Yeah, 5th turn of battle. You're just not going to see that in an EZA stage. Maybe if you're running this EZA super high, to, you know, in the hundreds and stuff, then you would start to be able to see this. But as far as being able to clear stage 30, definitely not. You're not going to be able to see that. So yeah, the only real thing he's going to be providing for you is the revive. But just keep in mind that you can only activate 1 revive per EZA stage cleared. So, you know, putting him on the team could be worthwhile. Is he actually going to be on the leader skill for this guy? Probably not, right? Yeah, he's not. I suppose you could still throw him on the team off leader skill to force the revive to happen, because then once any unit gets a revive, let's see, can be activated after the character's revival skills act. No, this doesn't proc on somebody else's revive. It only procs on his own revive. So then, yeah, that won't work out. So yeah, if you are planning on prioritizing using the Fat Boo, I probably wouldn't even recommend using the Cooler, because he could potentially steal the revive from you and then make the Boo worse, right? Okay, so another unit that we can consider here is the Tech Androids. They are, again, a very good staple for most EZA stages. Probably not going to be too insane for this EZA stage because you're facing off against multiple enemies. And what they're providing is that Ghost Usher active skill, right? Which is only going to proc against one enemy. So they are still going to have to face off against attacks against the other enemy. So yeah, I wouldn't recommend using them here just because of that. Now, Tech Caulifla will be a really good option because you are facing a Pure Saiyans. You know, obviously both of them are Pure Saiyans, so she's going to have 100% dodge. So if you need that 5th or 6th slot unit to fill in, then Caulifla is going to be a really good option because she won't be able to take any damage in this EZA stage. And then, okay, here's where I want to slow it down a little bit and talk about something. So we know that the God Goku here has 77% damage reduction against a Pure Saiyan or a Universe Survival Saga enemy. No, I'm sorry. That's Caulifla with the dodge with the Universe Survival Saga. This one is Pure Saiyan or Movie Boss, right? So obviously that 77% damage reduction will be effective in this EZA. So this is a unit you can just throw at the back end of your team to be able to consistently tank a little bit of damage for you. Now, there's something else that I wanted to go over, because if we are considering that just 77% damage reduction off leader skill and off the type effective category is going to be enough to tank, we now, with some 10th anniversary buffs, have a couple more characters that are effectively going to do the exact same thing as him in EZA stages. I guess let me make a cut and I'll pull those units up for you. Okay, so the units that I am referring to are the 7th anniversary LR EZAs, because upon entry, their very first turn, they have 77% damage reduction. That's the same thing as the God Goku, right? So for their very first turn, they're going to have that. Now, the next thing to consider is their active skill. The only condition for their active skill to proc is turn 4. So if they show up on turn 1, all you have to do is rotate them off, and then on turn 4, you're going to be able to activate their active skill, which is going to transform them. Once you transform them, they have another 1 turn of 77% damage reduction. So if you put them in the 3rd slot twice, you're essentially going to have up to 7 turns of battle in an EZA where they are protected with the 77% damage reduction. So they are essentially just as effective as the God Goku, except for the fact that you have to consider their stats are going to be way higher, and they have guard. And better dodge chance and stuff too than he would. So, and that goes for both of these units, right? And then especially, you know, post transformation, after you get the active skills off, they're gonna have scouters up, the guard. They have like a lot that they're giving you here, right? On top of just the damage reduction that they're gonna be providing. So what I want to do here is we're gonna jump back into this EZA, and we're going to attempt to use these guys and see. I'm going to throw God Goku on the team, and I'm going to throw them on the team and see how they're able to perform off leader skill and stuff, and see if this is actually going to be a viable strategy moving forward. These guys might be added to the roster of, you know, these, where is it at here? Of these characters that are just suitable for any and all EZA stages if you're lacking the units to build a proper team, right? So let's go ahead and build that team, and then we'll jump back in. Okay, so here's the team that we've got. I want to put the God Goku on just to be able to do kind of a little bit of a stat comparison with the two of them, just to see how, you know, good or bad they're going to be against each other. But then I also did bring the LR Super Saiyan 4s as opposed to the LR Gods, just because the Super Saiyan 4s being physical type is going to be a more, you know, advantageous typing to be taking into this EZA. Because obviously tech types are going to, you know, only have type disadvantage and be type neutral, whereas he is going to be type neutral against one and have type advantage over the other. Okay, so he does have the 77% up now. Okay, so his baseline stats with no leader skill or anything is going to leave him at 58k defense. All right, and then let's also keep in mind that he's got the key abilities and stuff, and he does raise his own defense on super attack. So as long as we can make sure to get him a super attack, then that's going to help his defensive numbers a lot as well, right? So I guess we'll try to prioritize it if we can. Alright, so Boo is about to hit pretty hard here. He's going to take a couple of hits to boost his attacking powers prior to attacking, and then obviously he's an AoE unit as well. Alright, and then there we go. Pretty easily, even with no leader skill or anything, we're able to get the 24 key off there. So they are going to do some attacks. Now remember, the attacks aren't going to do any damage because they're not on power absorption. So this EZA is basically going to nullify all the damage that they do, but that doesn't delete the fact that you're still going to be taking advantage of their super attack effects, right? So yeah, one of the biggest things, I guess, to mention about running a strategy like this where you have multiple units on the team that are off leader skill is that you're losing HP. If you take a look at our HP pool, it is a little bit lower. So that's something that you have to keep in mind for sure. That is like the biggest thing that you are risking. But I guess with the Boo being like our de facto leader and having the free revive for us, it's not the worst thing for us to have low HP. In fact, I think it could be kind of funny. Maybe we should try it. Like, we'll run it since we're experimenting today. We'll run it one time for the memes. We'll try and do an Int Boo lead, and then we'll bring we'll bring the LR Gods, we'll bring the LR Super Saiyan 4s, we'll bring Tech God Goku, and we'll bring Tech Caulifla. We'll try it all. Just run them all. And then I guess we might as well just throw on the physical Metal Cooler for the revive as well. Right, so full team of utility units, and see, at that point, I imagine that our HP would be so low that we probably will get the revive off. But yeah, I guess we'll see if it's possible to, like, get a W that way, right? Okay, so as we can see here, they're not really doing any damage, but all of this extra attacks that they're doing are raising their defense by a lot here. Unfortunately, we're not going to be able to see exactly what that number is, but, you know, it's going up. It went up by 50% with the Ultra Super, and then 30% every time they're doing these normal attacks, right? I believe. Actually, it might even be 50% on the normal attacks. We can check after. They're double-digit tanking still? Oh, okay, well, that's because of the... Yeah, okay, so the damage reduction is effective. Okay, so... Yeah, we're probably not gonna... Are we gonna make it to turn 4? Even... We might. I guess let's just go ahead and keep playing like normal. For now. But then, yeah, because we rotated them off on turn 1, they're gonna come back on turn 4 and then have their transformation available, right? So that's gonna be a huge... added benefit because they'll get another turn of that 77% protection. And then with that transformation, we're also going to be getting a free scouter, which is going to be helpful for the rest of the units on the team as well, right? Okay, yeah. With the Int Buhan around, it's looking a bit unlikely that we will that we'll see, you know, that turn 4 happen. I imagine we're probably going to finish things off here on the next turn, so not a problem. But we're going to jump right back in with that full meme build with all of those, you know, protected characters and see what we can make happen. I do want to put God Goku in slot 1 on this next rotation, just to check the most drastic possible differences, right? Because with the LR Super Saiyan 4s, we had type advantage and guard and a bunch of defense raises on top of the 77% damage reduction, on top of just a higher baseline defense, and all, you know, and then only getting hit post super attack. And then with God Goku, we're gonna have type. Oh, I guess we're just type neutral because we already KO'd the Vegeta. But yeah, so our defense is half of what it was. Let's go ahead and just select one orb so he doesn't get any of the extra procs from his passive. So literally we're just dealing with baseline 77% damage reduction, and that's it. And I guess we'll see if that's enough against this, or if there is going to actually, you know, reflect a difference there and see him take a little bit of damage where the LR Super Saiyan Force didn't. And of course he dodges it. Okay, well that's fine. Like I said, we are gonna run this again. With our full meme build, but I kind of want to try and force this to take a little bit more turns. So yeah, let's rebuild the team one more time, and we'll put all of these meme units on there, and see if we can still pull out a W here. Okay, so let's go ahead and try it out with this build and see how we do, I guess. So obviously now the only damage dealers that we have on the team are the Boo, the friend Boo, and then the Metal Cooler. So I wonder if that's going to be enough to actually do enough damage to take the stage down. Because we do have, you know, we're on a little bit of a timer with the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s. Okay, so something bad that just happened here is that we got both of them on the same turn, which means we can't, because they're both on turn 1, we can't rotate them both off in order to get both of them back on turn 4 where they're going to have that guaranteed protection again. So basically what this means is on turn 3, one of them is going to have to be on rotation, and they will have lost all of the damage reduction. So this is the one thing that you risk by running both of them together, is that if they do show up on the same turn, then you're not going to be able to... Well, I guess it's literally only this case. If they both show up on turn 1, right, then you're not going to be able to take advantage of that. So I guess we'll just do it like this for now and see. We'll try and get some... oh, no, the cord is disconnecting. Please, there we go. We'll try and get some defense raises in for this guy, since he is going to have to suffer one turn, you know, on turn 3. Okay, and then we'll just... Yeah, we'll just run it like this. Let's save those int orbs for the next turn, actually. This will be a good experiment here, right? Because we're taking hits before ever being able to do attacks. Okay, so yeah, obviously they are not fully invincible yet. The damage reduction's still helping a lot. Still kind of good enough, but obviously, yeah, they're not doing any damage at all either. Okay. But then, yeah, post all of these super attacks, they're definitely going to be able to double-digit tank at that point. I guess I'll be curious to see what kind of damage they take from getting hit with super attacks, right? And then I think what's probably going to be the smartest strat, just because we do have all of these, like, kind of unsafe units around, is going to be to focus down one of these guys and not worry about, like, type advantage or disadvantage. Oh, that's so great. The Boos have, like, such an amazing healing ability. All that damage that we took doesn't even matter. We just get it back for free. Kinda love that. Okay, so, yeah, I guess... What links do we have active? It's just Fierce Battle. Okay. I'm almost considering just floating the God Goku. No, let's keep him on. Let's keep him on. This will be fine. Yeah, so we'll just keep focusing on Vegeta until he is KO'd completely. And then I guess we'll get a couple extra orbs just to get a little bit more defense on the boy, even though it doesn't multiply by much because he has no leader skill, right? Which, yeah, wow, look at our total HP pool. So that was kind of the risk I was talking about. We're all the way down to 275, right? So I think that one of these, like, off-leader skill units is probably susceptible to getting KO'd from a super attack. Probably, right? And then it does hurt us a little bit, too, that Boo is a utility unit. And he isn't, like, because he has all of these defensive mechanics and stuff, they haven't given him, like, these insane attack stats, so he really doesn't hit that hard. So yeah, this is gonna take a little while to get through. We'll see, we'll see. I think we may have overdone it a little bit. Oh, wow, he took a lot of damage there. Oh my goodness. That was the God Goku in the middle, right? And then now we're on to the friend one? Yeah. So yeah, the God Goku with that type disadvantage hit there did take quite a bit of damage. So yeah, I don't know if the God Goku is going to be quite good enough for this. I still do want to, you know, take on the challenge and see if we can get the W here, but it seems like the God Goku is going to be a little bit undertuned at this point. And this was kind of the overall point of this strategy that I wanted to play around with, is to figure out if that God Goku only having the 77% damage reduction, you know, because that used to be an invincible ability. And now that's something that they're giving to characters in base just as a part of their kit, because it is not like an end-all be-all, right? Okay, so here's where we definitely take a KO. I don't think we can survive this because there's attacks in every single slot, and there's no way for us to protect the LR Gods. Right? Oh, and Cooler... Wait. Cooler is off leader skill. So I think we actually are okay here. So, what should we do? Let's... I guess we could just put Cooler in the front. Or, no. Let's do this. Yeah, because Cooler's off leader skill, he's not going to do any damage either. I kind of forgot about that part. So then literally the only damage dealers that we have are the 2 boos. Okay, that's definitely not good enough. Oh my goodness, the cord today, dude. Holy moly. When I was setting up for recording, it was just flickering like crazy. So sorry if that is annoying. Not really much I can do about it. Alright, I guess we can try to get a super attack with Cooler, because he might do a little bit of damage simply because he's on the effective category. And then, yeah, we'll float off the Super Saiyan 4s just to make sure we can delay them having to come back around onto rotation for as long as possible, right? Okay, and then we are going to at least be able to get some defense raises with them. What's their defense looking like right now? Okay, not too terrible. Obviously, we know at this point they can tank normals, and that is kind of the other added benefit with them, you know, stacking as well as they do, is that we might even be able to get to a point where they don't depend on the damage reduction, maybe? It's unlikely, though, with them not being on power absorption. And then, yeah, I'm curious, Cooler's probably just going to get KO'd here anyway. He'll at least provide a little bit, a smidgen of damage for us before he does, though. Yeah, because obviously not being on leader skill really, really hurts. Okay, so we get the revive with the Cooler. But the reason that this hurts us the most is because now we can't get the revives with the boos, which means we're going to have to depend on the alternate method to activate their active skill for the Ghost Usher, which is turn 7. So it's still going to be a little while before we can proc that, right? Okay, so same deal as before. So now we do have the LR God's active skill, so let's go ahead and launch this. By proccing this active skill, now they have their 77% damage reduction again, which is good. We are going to rotate them off because, remember, after this turn, then now they have no protection again. So this is the last turn that they'll be, like, viable to do anything. So let's go ahead and... is there a way we can avoid... I guess we'll do this. No. We'll do that. Alright, let's keep focusing on the Vegeta. Yeah, it does not look like it's going to be possible for us to get a KO here with this. I mean, I guess we'll try and see. Is there any way for us to get 7 orbs? Unfortunately not. Only 6. Alright. Because obviously he does get the extra stats with 7 orbs obtained. Which would definitely help him a little bit. Okay, and so same deal here. They are able to get a massive super attack in here, which is good because that's going to help raise their defense, allowing them to double-digit tank a little bit easier on this turn. But yeah, it seems like we're going to reach a point here pretty soon where the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s, like on basically the next time that the LR Gods come back, that's going to be the next time that we are screwed. So we've got 3 more turns. But I'm pretty sure we're just done before then because we have the Metal Cooler coming back. I actually didn't really think about that. I didn't float Metal Cooler, so... but I also didn't really have a choice because we had the LR Super Saiyan 4s that we had to float, right? Just to provide ourselves with 1 extra turn of protection there. Though I suppose because they had the transformation still to provide 1 more turn of protection, it would have been smarter to rotate the Cooler. The big blunder that I made was that I forgot that the Cooler is not actually on the leader skill. If the Cooler was on the leader skill, then we would be fine here, right? Like, if we... So, yeah, maybe that would be the biggest change-up we can do. We'll take off the Metal Cooler so that we don't have to waste the revive on him, and instead just put back on 1 of the Boo cards. Obviously, the best unit you could put would be the Int Buuhan. Like, I'm pretty confident we would just still be able to KO easily with the Int Buuhan, because he can provide so much damage for us. Maybe we'll put on, like, the physical Boo tanks. I just kind of want to be fair to players that may not have that easy A. that Super Easy A, like, did not have the card, because it's such an ancient Dokkan Fest that if you didn't manage to pick him up with red coins or anything, you wouldn't have access to him. Oh, okay, so we do have access to his active skill now to be able to heal. Do we just proc it here? Because we're probably not going to see another turn with him around. Let's go ahead and save it just in case, because it's not like it's going to do any damage for us anyway. And then we'll put Caulifla in the first slot, because we know she's going to dodge. Okay, we're still holding steady here. We're still going strong. This is actually kind of nuts how long we've been able to survive like this. Oh, they can almost get a super attack off. I think I actually want to save those orbs for next turn. Let's just grab the one physical orb that's going to help us get a little bit closer to that Dokkan attack. Because that is another thing we're going to be able to considerably use here. You know, it's actually going to be really funny if I do manage to pull out a W with this team. Just because it'll be the last run that I do. And then on the friends list, it'll just be this wonky-ass team that everybody sees, right? Got the W. And obviously this team build would be less and less effective as we go on when the enemies, you know, start tanking harder and harder and have bigger HP pools and start hitting harder. It's just going to be, like, impossible for only the fat boots to keep up because they really just don't do enough damage, right? Okay. So we live one more turn here. Hopefully we can finally get the Vegeta KO'd on this next turn, so we only have one enemy to worry about. That's going to be big for when we have those Ghost Usher active skills to start proccing. Okay, so now we have the LR Super Saiyan 4s. We'll be able to transform. We can see that there are no super attacks happening on this turn, which is good. Okay, I would love to select all of those orbs with them, but I don't really want to put them in slot 1. Actually, it's probably going to be fine because we know we have no super attacks to deal with, right? So, let's just go ahead and get him a 24 key. Yeah, and then we'll run it like this. Do we want to save the physical orbs for the next turn? No, I think I'd rather have the 7 orbs with Goku. That's probably the better way to run it. Okay. Yeah, perfect. They are tanking perfectly fine, because obviously having guard up, having, you know, all of that damage reduction and stuff is very good for them. Alright, well, they're not doing, like, much damage, but it also isn't 0, right? Like, a 58k crit, I guess it's something. Those little bit of chip damages might do, you know, might add up to something over time. Like, if you consider that between the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s, they're both probably going to have provided a total of, like, 12 super attacks, with, like, maybe 8 out of 12 of them having been crits. Altogether, that might equal the equivalent damage of, like, 1 super attack of, like, another, you know, random banner unit boo card or something. So it's something. It's something. Okay, hopefully this additional here is enough to KO the Vegeta, please. That would be very, very helpful if so. Yes, did we? Oh, the one more is enough. Awesome. Okay, so there we go. Now we're down to 1 enemy remaining, which is actually pretty helpful because now we've got the Ghost Ushers. The Ghost Usher active skill that's actually going to be able to protect us, right? Okay, so here we go. It's turn 7, so we have access to the Ghost Usher. Oh, this is so sweet. I love this. Okay, so we proc the Ghost Usher, and then now Goku is not able to attack us at all. Which means we don't have to worry about the LR Gods taking any damage this turn. We'll keep Caulifla on rotation, and we'll rotate them off to have 3 more turns before we have to worry about them again. We get the full heal back from all the candy. We're going to have a pretty strong damaging rotation, too, with the Boo and stuff. We're going to prioritize those tech orbs for the gods. Since we can only get tech orbs with 1 individual here. Yeah, we'll just get it with them. I suppose it didn't really make a difference since we already had 100% HP anyway, but this way, again, they can do a little bit of extra chip damage than they would have been able to, right? Okay, well, I would have liked for that to hit a little harder, but obviously we're dealing with the friend, or my boo and not the friend boo. Mine is only, what, 55%? Definitely not rainbowed. So he's not going to have a high likelihood of doing critical hits and things like that. But I imagine that this next turn, the attack that we do is gonna hit quite hard. Because that friend boo is performing a lot better than mine. Alright, hopefully we can get a couple crits off. We did select some rainbow orbs. There we go. Not bad, not bad. So I think we're sitting in a decent position to be able to actually finish this here. Maybe. Because we've got the, we still have one more Ghost Usher coming up next turn. So we know we're going to be safe this turn no matter what. Oh, and we have the cooler active skill, which the thing is, the cooler active skill does provide a little bit of damage for us, but it also is going to provide a good chunk of healing. I don't think that we're going to need the healing, though, just because the int fat boos do so much healing on their own. So I am actually going to just proc this active skill now, just to give us every extra little bit of damage that we can do. Yeah, there we go. An extra million. We'll take it. That's not bad. Okay, and then we do waste the revive, but that's fine. And then, because obviously Cooler would get KO'd if he gets hit here, we are going to need to definitely use the Ghost Usher. And obviously the LR Super Saiyan 4s don't have their damage reduction up, but I suppose I should have pointed it out before the attacks went away. But in that middle slot, we only had one attack, and it was the Super. So had we not had to worry about Cooler taking a hit, we wouldn't have had to actually use the Ghost Usher here, because the LR Super Saiyan 4s have a 70% chance to counter super attacks, and that was the only attack there. So we would have had a 70% chance to not even take that hit regardless. Okay, so we'll go ahead and select all of these, and then let's try and get same type orbs if we can. We really want to get close to that Dokkan attack if possible. So yeah, I'm just going to select physical orbs with both of them, and then hopefully we can get that Dokkan attack to proc on this next turn, because this next turn is going to be the scary one, right? We have no abilities left. This is the last turn of abilities. We have popped every single active skill that's available. The type disadvantage is hurting us so bad here. Without critical hits, we're doing like no damage, so I'm really hoping that that Dokkan attack can come in clutch, right? That will be huge. But I'm assuming that the Dokkan attack is going to have to KO, otherwise we're probably just going to be dead here. Though, actually, we do have a fine turn on the next rotation. As long as God Goku doesn't get supered, we'll still survive the rotation no matter what. So we can actually hold out one more turn to do the Dokkan attack if need be, right? But then on the next rotation after that, that would be the dangerous one, because we'll have Boo and then the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the LR Gods, who neither of them have their damage reduction up anymore, so they are very susceptible to taking damage, right? I actually can't believe how well this is working. This is such a goofy strat. Obviously, it's taking 10 million years, but hey, if you're a newer account and you don't have access to a lot of these Boo cards, I'm just showing you all your options here. So this is so cheeky. Okay. How do we run it? I think this is probably the right answer for us. Oh, actually, in the off chance that we do proc the let's see here. It's only going to be Fierce Battle up either way, right? Yeah, okay. So yeah, on the off chance that we do proc the Dokkan attack on this turn, we should probably make sure to have Boo in the first slot. But I'm just thinking, because our Boo doesn't hit as hard as the other Boo, it might be smart for us to purposely try not to get the Dokkan attack this turn and just wait one more turn. So yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that. Let's not select any same type orbs. To ensure that we don't, we'll select all these tech orbs first. Get them out of the way, and then I guess we'll just select these, doesn't really matter. And then with Goku, we do want to try and get as many orbs as possible, but unfortunately a bunch more tech orbs showed up. Looks like that Dokkan attack might proc either way. Not a huge deal. Well, it might be. Yeah, okay. So then it looks like we're gonna have to depend on our Boo here. All right, let's focus up and get all these nodes. All right, so again, as long as it's not a super attack in that final slot, then we're going to survive the rotation, and we'll have one more turn, one more crack at this. I guess the blunder was last turn, selecting all those same type orbs. I should have not done that to be able to delay the Dokkan attack for one more turn so that the stronger of the two boos could have done the Dokkan attack, right? But that was a healthy amount of damage. I think we still have a fighting chance here. It's probably going to take a crit or two from the other boo in order to make this happen. So we'll see. We'll see. Okay, the triple super attack turn is very helpful, though. That is nice. Obviously, those within the turn attack raises do a bit for us. Oh, gosh. He's still at, like, just under a quarter HP. This is a little bit scary. Yeah, at this point, I'm willing to take any super attack that will give. Yeah, there we go. Oh, nice. Here's the super attack. So Khalifa gets the dodge in. All right, now we're guaranteed to survive the rotation, right? Okay, obviously that hurts, but not enough. And with the Dokkan attack and the Boo passives, we do heal there. Oh, we also have the active skills, the damaging active skills from them, because now the enemy is below 50% HP. Okay, that's good. If these crit, they could actually do a little bit of damage, because we have gotten some attack raises with them. So even though they're off leader skill, I mean, it's going to be measly, but it will be something. And if they critical hit, then it might actually do something here. So yeah, we'll go ahead and proc that. Okay, perfect. And then we'll proc this one. Get a little bit of extra damage in there. Awesome, awesome. Okay, we're still holding strong. So here's something else that we're considering. We got lucky that there's only attacks in 2 slots. If the LR gods can provide one dodge for us there, because obviously they have a 30% chance to dodge in base, and then we have an additional 10% per rainbow orb obtained. So we're going to grab all of these with the Boo. Obviously, the most ideal situation is that the Boo just finishes them off here. But worst case, if he doesn't, then let's see if we can get 4 rainbow orbs. No, only 3. Okay, so they're going to have a 60% chance to dodge, plus whatever is in their hidden potential system. Let me see what I do have them at. It should be a full dodge build. It's actually not. Okay, it's only 12%. I probably will end up changing that soon. They're a relevant enough card that I do use that probably makes sense to do that. I kind of want to save all those rainbow orbs for next turn. Yeah, I think I'm just going to grab these. Okay. So it's either going to take a KO from the Boo here, or it will take a dodge from the LR gods, and then we'll have one more turn where we can put Boo slot 1 to try to finish things off, right? But if we do get unlucky and we're not able to hide the cooler at all, then this is going to be GG's, and that would be the last turn, right? So we'll see, we'll see. Maybe we'll get lucky here. Please, critical hit, please! If this crits right here, I think we can do it. No crit. Wow. Dude, he is so close. This is insane. All right, let's see if we can get that dodge off. Oh my gosh. Because obviously if they don't dodge, they are going to be one-shot. They have nothing to protect them but defense. A very low amount of defense because of no leader skill, right? And again, definitely will take these critical hits. At this point, with how many turns they've been on rotation, I think the LR Gods and the LR Super Saiyan 4s have absolutely contributed to the damage output, right? Which is really, really silly to think about. Oh man, this is so funny. If we do get this KO, you know what? I'm not going to say anything yet because I don't want to jinx myself right here. Get the dodge. Yes, sir! There we go. All right, one more turn. All right, yeah, now it's looking like pretty free. I think it's going to be kind of mathematically impossible for the Boo not to finish things off. His HP is so low, and we have a couple more critical hit attacks coming in, right? Yeah, okay, that's it. This is so nutty. This is so nutty. I love it. Yeah, do another one, please. There we go. Wow, okay. Oh, would you look at that? We can hide the cooler. So we actually do have one more turn. Even if we don't finish things off here, we still have one more turn of protection. Heck yes, dude. This is hilarious. I am absolutely enjoying myself right now, if you couldn't tell. I'm just having the time of my life. Okay, the orbs are going to be set up really bad for next turn, unfortunately. We might not be able to slot one Boo if need be, but I'm thinking it's very low likelihood that we get there. We're probably just gonna finish this off right here, probably, right? Let's see. With the additional, this should be enough. Oh man, everybody on my friends list is gonna think that I'm one of those modders that just uses a random team. Oh my goodness, we actually got the KO. Wow, that is hilarious. Okay, well, I might never play this EZA again. I might just leave that like that. Infinitely, just to be able to flex that on my friends list, and be like, look guys, look at the team that I got the win with. That is so dumb. Wow, you love to see it. That's hilarious and insane. I am so happy with that. All right, well, I think that very, very extensively showcased the ability that we have for these units. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and do something here. Let's go ahead and add these on. We are going to add on the LR Super Saiyan 4s and the LR Gods into here. Yeah, let me just cut and do that real quick. All right, so yeah, here we go. This is what the list is gonna look like for the remainder of the future of forever. It's looking like, you know, with the way that God Goku performed in here, we're probably only going to be recommending him for EZAs where he is on the type effective category, or where you can at least get him on the leader skill, right? You know, so if you, for instance, were to have some type of lead where it's like the effective category is Majin Buu Saga, but then you're running the new Vegito, so he's got a Pure Saiyans lead, and even though he's on Majin Buu Saga, you're able to get this guy on the leader skill, so he has some additional stats, but then he's not on Majin Buu Saga to be the type effective category. He might still be like a relevant unit, but yeah, I think we accurately showcased that the LR Gods are the new de facto like 77% damage reduction units that you just want to throw on the team. They have so much utility, and then as you saw, even beyond those 2 turns of the guaranteed protection, they still do have some viability in this EZA stage, so that is fun stuff. I am so pleased with what we were just able to accomplish there. That is awesome. Alright, so before we finish up the video, I know we're getting a little bit lengthy here, but we do still need to take a look at the new battle motions, so we'll go ahead and quickly jump into a battle, take a look at the new GT Super Saiyan Goku and Super Saiyan Vegeta battle motions. Alright, so it actually turns out that I was completely mistaken. They did not add battle motions for the new GT Super Saiyans. I thought that they would have. I guess that was just an assumption that I had, but maybe that was just something special that they had going strong for all of the like 10th anniversary characters and stuff. I'm not sure why they didn't do that. I'm a little bit disappointed about that, to be honest with you. I guess maybe I just glossed over it because obviously the brand new Dokkan Fest, the Daima Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta does have a battle motion added, but yeah, they didn't give them battle motions. I suppose it's okay for us to look at the just updated sprites, since obviously they did, you know, redefine, like, make them more high resolution and everything for all of the sprites in the game. They kind of did all that at once when the Dokkan 2 update rolled out. But there is one other little thing that I wanted to point out then, that they shadow dropped, because this is new. There's no way I didn't notice this until now, so this is brand new. Notice in the bottom left corner there, it's actually giving you the little icon showing you the typing of the character on top of the sprite. The reason I know this is new, because check out a unit that we've already looked at their battle motion, right? That was not there before. So, yeah, that's kind of interesting that it's showing that off to us now. I suppose that's a little bit helpful. I mean, obviously, if you've built the team yourself, you should know what typings your units are. But I suppose it could be moderately helpful for those couple of units that do swap typings, and it might be difficult to keep track of. I think there's like literally only 2 units in the game that do it, but it's the Tech Majin Vegeta, because he starts as a super type when he's Super Saiyan 2, and then once he transforms into Majin, he becomes Extreme Tech. And then the Tapion, the AGL Tapion that transforms into Hirudegarn. He starts as Super AGL, and then he transforms into Extreme AGL. So maybe, like, aside from those, I can't really think of much of a reason why those would even be there, but I suppose having more information is always better, right? So, okay, well, yeah, I guess that's gonna go ahead and finish it up then, since there are no battle motions to take a look at. That is a pretty big bummer. Thumbs down to that. I hope that this does not then again become a consistent trend. You know, because obviously if they're only going to be adding battle motions to the brand new Dokkan Fests and like brand new releases, and you know, we also saw throughout the anniversary that they didn't bother doing that for the banner units because Beerus and Hercule didn't get battle motions, then that means there's going to be very, very few of them added to the game over time, and that's kind of bummy. I was hoping that it would be kind of a massive rollout, that we would be constantly getting them all the time, right? Just because there's so many thousands of characters that can get them updated. And the other thing to consider is that new Dokkan Fests, more times than not, are new named characters. Or at least, you know, characters that have a very niche roster. But basically what I'm saying is if they are only going to be rolling out the battle motions with, like, brand new Dokkan Fests, or with, like, major, like, LR EZAs and stuff, then it's going to be a very, very, very long time before we see battle motions for a lot of different characters in the game. Which a big example is these guys right now. Without having the GT Super Saiyans get their battle motions right now we have to wait for a new release of them, but they just got EZAs. So it's probably going to be a while before we see a brand new Dokkan Fest release of either of these characters, where then they would get battle motions, right? And there's no other like named units in the game that are like the same as them that we're going to see those update for anytime soon. So this was kind of their opportunity to do that, and they passed up on it. So yeah, I'm very disappointed about that. That kind of sucks. So yeah, I guess after all the excitement we just experienced over the last hour, we are going to end the video here on a little bit of a down note, but that is totally fine. So I'm going to go ahead and finish it up here, guys. Thank you so much for sticking with me. That is going to do it for this one. Don't forget to check out the links in the description below, and I will catch you guys next time. Peace.